Let's see. Am I live? I'm seeing some people in the chat. Hello, people. Happy New Year. I'm reading the chat to catch up. If you can hear me, say hello. Just got to adjust this. I've never streamed from here before, so it's a little bit new. This is actually the same space where I film most of my videos, but I usually film facing the wall. Just found this piece of spandex cat toy. Great. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, Petra. This is my cat, Petra. She's stuck with me today because I closed the door. Isn't she beautiful? Petra, say hi to everybody, girl. Yes, you're very nice. Oh, wow, you're so good. I think she likes being on camera. Well, cool. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your New Year's Day with me. I'm not entirely sure what all we're going to be doing, but I have some tentative plans, and I'm very excited to get started on them. Wow, hello. First, I might need to let my cat out because she is walking to the door. So, you want to go out? All right. Okay, say bye-bye. And she goes. All right, now I think we can actually officially get started. So, yes, I have been meaning to do some sort of non-closet cleaning live stream for a while, and I figure since this is the very first day of a new year, having some creative energy channeled into making something cool with all of y'all would be a good way to start off the year. So I hope that is cool with all of y'all. I think primarily I will be focusing on making either headpieces of some sort or brooches because that's just what I have. And I'm usually a big fan of fake flowers in Lolita fashion. So I've got a ton of flowers that I've collected. All of the faux orchids are actually from my wedding. I was very, very resistant to buying flowers of any sort, but my in-laws kind of beat me down until I agreed to do fake flowers because then at least I'd be able to use them for craft supplies later. So I have lots and lots of faux orchids. I've also been collecting these really, really big, beautiful sunflower pieces, and I really want to make a couple that are just like giant sunflower fascinators kind of thing. That might be where we start because that would be pretty easy, I think. It's just a matter of like hacking things off. This I have plans to make into a wand. This is not happening today. Isn't it pretty? Really realistic looking, I think, but not for today. But yeah, I've got these, I think these are like camellias maybe as well, and some leaves on them. And then I do have also, if you saw my old shoe modification tutorial where I reviewed that glue gun, you might recognize this giant bag of stuff. This is all left over from my Disney Tafiti costume from Moana. So there's lots of that. And then leaves also, which are predominantly autumn leaves. I've got some like maples, some sort of, I don't know, is the word deciduous? I am not a plant person. But yeah, I have lots and lots of flowers, lots of leaves. And then I've got some blank headbands, which I can work with in different sizes. I've also got some ribbons. Where did I put the ribbons? Did I forget to bring the ribbons upstairs? That would be so me. Maybe I did. Maybe I forgot the ribbons and the lace. But in theory, I have ribbons and lace somewhere around here as well. though I might have to go ask my spouse to bring it upstairs. I have not had a very organized morning. And then I've got my fixtures box, which I don't know what to say about it. It's got pin backs. It's got the magnet backs that I use for my deco stuff. It's got necklace bases, pendant bails. And then on the other side, I've got lots of hair stuff. So I'm probably going to stick with the hair stuff mostly. I feel like that's kind of an easy place to start, especially since so many things are just going to be like grouping flowers together on a piece of paper and gluing the paper to something that can stick on your head. So, yeah, I don't know where to start. I guess I should actually start by plugging in my glue gun. And I'm using low temp here because I really have the tendency to burn myself. I see a question, where do you get your pin back? The magnet pin backs I get on Amazon. If you look for magnet brooch clasp, you'll find them. I also have sew-on and glue-on pin backs that are just like the puncture through and the rotating locking pin back kinds. And I usually get those either on Amazon or at a craft store as well. I've never been able to find the actual wow, my mind just went blank. The brooch clasps with the magnets I haven't been able to find on what is this connected to? Oh my goodness, sorry, my cords are a little bit mismanaged here. There we go. Now I can bring this closer. Yeah, I've never found the brooch pins with the magnet backs at a normal craft supply store, but I've known that they existed for a while, so I have to get those online. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Aw. Y'all are so nice. A rosette with a flower center. I don't know if I'm skilled enough to make a rosette, to be honest. Like, I have this one up here by Pizzicato K that I use for inspiration, but like this is some advanced stuff, and I'm not that much of a designer. I like drawing, and I'm pretty good at it. I like sewing, and I'm pretty good at it. And I like crafting, and I'm pretty good at it. But none of those things, I would say, are like at the level that they would need to be for me to make something that looks this good with ribbon and flowers. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to be. It might turn out to be a hot, gluey mess or a low temp, gluey mess. But we'll see. And I do really appreciate all of y'all who voted. Ooh. Come on, Power Strip. Work with me here. There we go. I really appreciate everybody who voted in my community poll to suggest that we make accessories. I have been thinking for a while that I wanted to figure out some way to move my sewing machine up here so that I can show y'all how I make my ribbon necklaces with like the lace on the front and how I do my handmade wrist cuffs, because those are things that I'm really confident in making, but I just could not figure out how to get that entire sewing setup over here. And since my sewing room is in the same room that my partner plays video games in, it really doesn't seem fair to him to like sit there for multiple hours talking and chattering while he's trying to play his game. So yeah. Let me move this away for a moment. And I think we are going to start pretty simple with just like, let's do some fascinators with giant flowers. Because this is super pretty, super cute. And I have them in a bunch of colors, so I can just kind of bang them out. I'd also really like to do some stuff specifically with some of the orchids from my wedding. This particular purple orchid was one that all my bridesmaids were different colors. So my purple bridesmaid, I had to get purple orchids for her, and she's a goth, kind of rockabilly goth. So this was really perfect for her. And all the leftovers, I'm like, I got to make some gothic accessories with these. Yeah. Catching up on the chat. Green leaves with pastel cords and flowers. I think that sounds fabulous, honestly. Especially if the flowers are pastel, the leaves just make it look more natural. And there are so many ways that you can bring natural colors into a cord. I mean, oh, and same goes for the blue. I really want to make something out of these to wear specifically with the kind of Dusty Sacks Twinkle Journey dress that I've yet to unbox. So we'll see about this. And this one, oh, beautiful Gothic sunflower. So we've got a bunch. I've got some that are like more fluffy in the middle and some that are more kind of open and stuff. And I think that the ones that are open in particular, I'd like to eventually, when I have my act together, embellish by putting like jewels in the middle. I've got a lot of like pearls, but I've also ordered a lot of rhinestones recently because I need to craft with rhinestones for my wrestling gear and stuff. So I'm waiting to see if I've got some extra rhinestones that I could put in the middle of these. I don't know how well that would work with this style because it is, I don't know how well you can see, it's like kind of fluffy and textured. And it would be nice to put something in there. And I really think gems would be the way to go, but I don't think I brought them upstairs. Excuse me one moment while I chat my partner to see if he can bring me a bunch of ribbon. Maybe he wouldn't mind making a cameo. All right. So I will mention also that I've got this plastic layer on my table in front of me. So I'm not going to ruin my table with this. Always protect your work surface. Yeah, I could do a video for the necklaces and the wrist cuffs, though, to be honest, tutorial videos are an even bigger undertaking for me than my usual like coordinate and review videos. I'm not great at editing things, and it's nice to be able to do something that's a lot lower effort like this. I mean, I didn't even make my bed this morning, so that's how low effort this is. I do have some faux pearls that I could use, but they're mostly like, I've got the like ivory pearls, and then I've got a bunch of like pastel metallic pearls. So, oh, what's he say? Yep, I left them on the table because I am disorganized. Well, that's fine. We're just gonna keep trucking along. So the way that I would normally approach this is to figure out what I'm trying to coordinate things with. I don't have any specific chords in mind except for like wanting a vague twinkle journey thing here. Oh, fake dandelions. They don't look like real dandelions, but they're fun. I'm so sorry. I've just completely blanked once again on what I was going with that. Fake dandelions. Yeah, so I'd usually figure out what I want to coordinate. Like if there's a specific dress or accessory like group that I want to make something for, then I would go for that. These are just kind of general though. Like what I like about these big sunflowers in particular is that you can stick them on your head in various places. You could have multiples on your head and it would look really silly and amazing. You could mix colors of them to sort of do something cool with that. But since they're just these like very vivid colors, like this bright red is going to be useful for so many different things. I think I hear my spouse. Excuse me. Thank you. He even put them in a bag. So yeah, now I can show you the other stuff that I've got on hand. I swear I was prepared for this. I've got lots of ribbon and lots of lace. And I think in particular, some of these ribbons, like the thinner ribbons, would look nice, like trailing down from things or crisscrossing across a headband. I've also got some thicker ribbon, which I specifically got to cover the headbands, where you can like wrap them around to create a nice fabric base, because there is nothing that irks me more than an uncovered headband base in Lolita. Looking at you, Bodyline. And I've got some stuff that's like more elegant. And a lot of this stuff is just kind of cheapy, like $1 from Joann's kind of thing. But yeah, some of this should be pretty useful. Like, could be nice. Or since I do have this green ribbon specifically, this green ribbon could match quite a lot of this stuff. Something like that. So I'm going to start with just making these big guys into fascinators, I think. Just because I want something to kind of get the creative juices flowing. It's going to be easy and hopefully very easy to follow along as well. So let's start there. Let's try to get a little bit more organized first, though. Here's another one. This one's a slightly brighter red. So you could have like a whole garden on your head. Ah, cute. Also, I do recommend Michaels and Joann for really cheap fabric flowers, specifically right after the season has ended. So most of these I've been hanging on to for at least a couple months. A lot of these I bought in like early November, right after the fall season was ending and things were getting Christmassy. These are over a year old, but I bought these in like February because they were Christmas things that were on clearance. And then they always have like lots and lots of coupons, which is pretty great. So recommend that. Glitter in the center of these flowers. I love that. I especially love that for these fluffier ones because I have this collection of Martha Stewart glitters from when I was really into resin casting specifically. They're like these really fine glitters that you can like mix in. And I could totally see just like coating this in a thin layer of green glitter to make it pop. Or even yellow. Yeah, I'm totally going to do that. Totally going to do that. Probably not on camera. But if I do anything to these things afterwards, I'll definitely post about them on Instagram. So here's where I could say, follow me on Instagram at Elvira Wrestling if you haven't already. Okay, so for these big flowers, step one is definitely to take off whatever pokey bits are still on the bottom. I've got a pair of non-fabric scissors down here, and I'm just going to kind of whittle away at them. And now that's off. Got a garbage can right over there. Yeah, I thought about doing a giant unboxing video, but to be honest, I need the content to be specific because most of my channel is unboxing videos, and since I've been like, I like to think that I've been spending less and less money over time, but aside from trying to jump on every meta release that inspires me, I have not been buying a lot of new dresses, so I'm trying to make them last because I know that the YouTube algorithm will punish me if I don't keep uploading every single week. So that's where we are. But it has crossed my mind. It has crossed my mind, and it may come down to that at some point, especially if I get like a long series of other similarly related things. Like I did some blouse unboxings on my blouse live stream last month. Was that just last month? Oy. So yeah, we've got 2 of these prepped. We'll start with that. First thing I'm going to do is put just like the littlest little dollop of glue at the base, just to make sure that if that stem was holding anything in place, it won't shift. And already I'm out of glue. This glue gun was put away without much glue in it, I suppose. So this is a dual temp glue, low temp glue gun, because I'm probably going to want to stick my fingers on things. But proceed at your own risk for that. Yay! I've officially glued something. It's happening. So yeah, just put little dollops of glue on those specific base parts. And now I'm going to try to figure out what kind of clip would be best suited here. I've got these really, really big alligator clips. And this, ow! And already I am starting to burn myself with my low temp glue gun. This is hilarious. Okay. This, I think, actually fits really well. I would probably still go for 2 of them, though, because having one down the middle is going to make it a little bit flippy floppy. And I do have enough to make 2 of them. This is what will make it truly like a fascinator as opposed to just a hair clip. However, I also have these much smaller clips. And I think these might even work better than the giant clips because since they take up less room, they are going to be easier to place and maneuver on the head. This is like, it's so big that there's really no chance of it slipping, but also the bigger ones, I could see putting multiple flowers along and like making hair clips out of them. So that's cool. Yeah, I think we're going to start also with the smaller clips because I have a lot more of them. So I think they will be able to stretch a little bit more than the others. So let's give that a go. Let me check the chat. Yeah, RR memorandum. I don't know. They said that they're having some current supply chain issue type things. Like they couldn't get the lace that they wanted for the release that I had ordered from. They said they found a very similar, comparable lace that is of equal quality. And I'm so positive that that's going to be worth the wait if it fits me. And it's a big risk because I'm confident that the blazer will fit me bust wise, waist wise, and that the skirt will fit me on the waist and hips. I'm a little worried about the length, and I'm very worried about the shoulders and the biceps, which are, as all of y'all know, my kind of concern points for me. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. And it was very expensive. It was like $600 or something, more than $600 for the set. So I'm definitely anxiously awaiting that package, but I have high hopes. And I know that the folks that have been supporting them for a long time really, really love their work. Very like UK old school punk inspired Lolita and J fashion stuff. I dig it. Into infinity. I dig it. It's like the closest thing I'll ever get to be able to wear Vivienne Westwood authentically too, probably. So just because she don't make things in my size. All right, so I've added 2 globs of glue, and I'm positioning these clips to be slightly angled in, because from my experience, when I'm putting on a clip, if they're too parallel, I kind of have trouble inserting them. But if they're slightly tapered inward, you can just kind of slide them onto your head. So now we'll wait as this dries. I like to, one of the reasons I use low temp glue is that I like to press things down. These clips are a little strangely shaped. They're shaped this way specifically for crafting, but you need a little pinchy part here for most types of stuff that you'd be crafting. Oh my gosh. I'm not used to having no nails. I tend to grip things with my fingertips that way. So anyway, yeah, so you need the little pinchy bit here, and then this part is curved mostly so that it can match this part, which is curved to fit your head. And not all alligator clips are like this, but the ones that I like are, and I also like the ones that have the little serrated teeths. So you got to make sure that first of all, you've got enough glue to fill in that gap, and then second of all, that it will cover enough of the clip to give a secure hold on the bottom. So this should be good to go already. And we test it now. Look, Ma, no hands. Well, that was easy. I guess we're done. See you guys next week. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to make lots of things. I'm going to be here for at least an hour, probably more like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see how some of these things take in terms of time. But yeah, so I find the angle to be really good like this. You see, I didn't have to mess with it too much. I do have my hair tied back, so there's more friction. But even if I've got my hair down, it's got that angle, and I could just not going anywhere. Looks good. Fill in the top empty spot. In here? Is this the empty spot, or is there some sort of gap in the petals that we're concerned about? I'm unsure. But yeah, in theory, this is done enough to wear. I'm definitely interested in trying that glitter idea in the middle. But that would be a lot. Oh, under here, you mean? You mean under there. Especially because there's this area. Yeah, I see what you mean. So there is this area right here. If I push it, if I comb it, if I insert it onto my head such that the combs are facing towards my face. You don't really see it. But I see what you mean about wanting to put something there for this view, because this looks less lustrous. So yeah, let's do that actually. Great idea. Love this collaboration energy we are already generating here. So let's see what kind of, I think I want to save this for something specific later, but I mean, this green is absolutely perfect, but it would also look really Christmassy. So let's avoid that. I've also got some gold. This is kind of too wide, I think. I've got this really nice kind of like golden coppery lace I could put around the edge. How would that look? Does that even show? If I put it more towards the edge, it could show. It would almost look like a little doily underneath the flower. What do we think? It's pretty good. Oh, I do have red ribbon. Yes, I do. I've got this big thick one. Which could be good. I've got this slightly different fabric feel red ribbon. This one's already cut to point, so that's kind of nice. And it is a very bright red, which I think goes with this quite nicely. So this is a good contender. I'll put the other one away. I've also got this thinner red ribbon. This is a bit darker, which isn't to say that it wouldn't match this. It would just probably match this one better. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Okay, we'll save this for that one. Oh, I've also got gray. Gray could look rather nice with this, but it would kind of solidify this as a specific colorway matching thing. I'm not sure I have black ribbon. Yeah, I don't think I have black ribbon. I do have black lace. Several types of black lace, actually. So we could take a look at adding lace. I've also got this very dark brown ribbon. That could look rather nice. Pink, white. This white has this like iridescent border though, so that's kind of not in line with what we're looking for right now. Yellow, I could do yellow. I think that's a no. Cute, but not as versatile. Oh, and I've got this purple lace also. Ugh, I love purple and red together in Lolita. So good. Well, let's take a quicker look at the lace options then. I'm not going to use the purple as much as I love that color combo. Pro tip also, if you've got these little cuts of lace and you want to organize them somehow, I just like paper clipping them together. And sometimes I'll even paper clip a little measurement of them. When I'm feeling very organized, I will measure everything and put it away such that I know exactly how much I have of what I have. Pretty useful. There we go. So this is one of the black laces. And I do think that could look pretty nice. Just kind of stuck at the bottom. It's a little hard to see because of my hair color. But that would look like that. What do we think? Pretty good. The red might be ideal though. So let me see if I remember how to tie a bow on nothing. Try to get this even. One of my New Year's resolutions is tie better bows. So in an effort to do that, I'm working on that right now. It's easier when it's like on something else though. So I'm just going to use, this, I guess. Because that's easy enough. Hacks. Still not great at this bow tying technique, but I think we got there. That looks like a pretty good bow. It's totally uneven, but I think we'd want it with smaller loops to go on the head. Ta-da. So this would look like that, basically. I could also position it on one side or the other. So if it's like here versus right in the middle here. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of bow tying tutorials and such. I'm just not very practiced, and certainly not practiced enough to be able to do most of them off the top of my head. Don't know if I have enough ribbon for a double bow, actually. Not at this size anyway. But I think I would probably put it on like this then. I could also okay, maybe not like that. Smaller, narrower black ribbon bow. I just don't have any black ribbon is the problem. Closest I had is this brown organdy ribbon. And like, I'll show you, it is not a black ribbon, but because it's organdy, it's also translucent. So it doesn't really do much on my head. I just kind of amass craft supplies. A lot of people give me stuff also. So like half of my ribbon collection is just stuff that I've salvaged off of birthday party piles or that random well-meaning people have given me. That green ribbon is rather nice. I'm still coming back to this particular golden lace too. Like, what if I put the lace on and the ribbon? And I can always cut the ribbon shorter later if I feel like it. I think with it being on the part that I'm most likely to have towards the front of my face, it should probably be at least both this length as opposed to having one longer. But there is also the chance that I'll wear them like this on the back, in which case having a longer ribbon trailing down the back is kind of pretty. I don't know. I'm so conflicted. All of you are giving me great great feedback, great ideas. I just don't know if I can execute them with what I've got. Because again, if I was more like focused and I was planning, maybe it would be different. But right now I'm just like, here's what I've got. Don't worry about confusing me. This is a me problem, not a you problem. I think I am going to do a little bit of this golden lace, and then I'm going to stick the ribbon on it, just because then I will have felt like I did more to it, if that makes sense. I don't know. It makes sense in my brain. So now I used my non-fabric scissors for this, blasphemy though it is. If I brought my normal fabric scissors up here, I would almost undoubtedly get glue on them, so we're not doing that. But yeah, so I've just measured out a little piece of it. I'm not going to ring the whole thing around because I don't want it to lay less flat on that side, but I'm basically going to tuck this around the part that would be exposed. Not quite like that. That's not it. But like this, around the part that would be exposed and lifted up when I've got this side facing forward. So, yeah. I'm just going to take my glue gun, add a little dot of it where I want that lace to begin to fall, and kind of gently drape it across the top. And this is another one of those times when, ouch, I'm glad I'm using low temp, because if this was high temp, I would have many, many burns, and my fingers would be gnarly and ruined. Oh, I should mention, by the way, that assuming it doesn't get completely shut down due to Covigula stuff, I am going to a convention next week. This week? Later this week. Next. Yeah. Anime LA is happening, ALA, in Long Beach, California. Their COVID numbers, I hope I don't get demonetized for saying that, are not great right now. And my partner and I have been committed to do a Cosplay Wrestling Federation show with them for a while now. We've been really excited. We've been planning a lot. I made a whole new Sailor Moon singlet to wear to this thing, right? I really want it to happen. And if I'm going, when I'm not there for the specific event that I'm going for, the cosplay wrestling event, I will be in Lolita, and I will be handing out ribbons, which is like a thing at ALA. Everybody does badge ribbons. To all of the Lolitas I see there that say, hello, fellow Litas. I'm really excited about them. Actually, I've been like, oh, if I'm going to ALA, I better make ribbons. So I made some ribbons. Hopefully some of you will be there and I can give them to you. Or maybe I'll just meet some new people. Like, hey, I love meeting new people just because the new people I've met recently happen to already know who I am, which did make the gateway to entry kind of open for me, but like the gateway to friendship rather. But you know, if I have a ribbon, then that's also a gateway to friendship, right? I can just walk up to a bunch of random Lolitas who have no idea who I am and be like, hi, want a ribbon? Because at Anime LA, that is the thing you do. Everybody does that. Ouch. But yeah, a lot of people I know, including some of the folks who are specifically involved in like programming and stuff, have already had to back out. I've got until Monday to decide whether or not to cancel my hotel room without incurring a fee. And it's a bummer. My wrestling class has been shut down for almost 2 weeks also due to new variants and how hard they are to test for. And I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm trying to keep it that way, you know? I haven't gotten sick, period, with that. I got the flu real bad, but I tested negative. So I really want to keep it that way. As an athlete, I cannot risk the long-term respiratory effects of COVID. Just don't think it's worth it. But yeah, I'm very concerned that this convention, because of the numbers I'm already seeing out of LA and Orange County and stuff, and that's where most of the people who are going to this con are coming from. Like, I'm very concerned that it will be a problem, and that double masking and socially distancing and whatnot will not be enough. May end up even wearing my mask on stage if I'm really, really nervous. But I've also been looking forward to this for a long, long time, and I totally understand other people's, desire to finally go out and see their friends and stuff. This con is a big one for Southern California, and I know that a lot of people have missed each other quite a lot and stuff, but I just hope that nobody does anything stupid. And I swear, if I see any of the people who I know on Facebook who have been posting about like, oh no, I tested positive, but I'll still go to ALA if my symptoms are gone. If I see them, I'm going to flip them off, yell at them, and then run away. It's just not safe. All right. I've got the lace attached, and I only burnt myself very mildly. So yeah, it being a straight piece of lace, I kind of had to fold it a bit. So it's not the greatest looking, but let's just double check how that looks right now. Oh, already it's more interesting. It's almost like a crown now. Not bad. Not bad. Chat catch-up time. Oh, God, yeah. Well, I appreciate all of you telling me to care for my health first. It is absolutely my number one priority. Again, like, I'm so driven to do my wrestling stuff, but I took over a year off from wrestling class because I didn't feel safe doing wrestling unvaccinated. And I know tons and tons of people that did not feel the same way. They weren't as concerned, and they just risked it. And if they got COVID, they were asymptomatic. And if they didn't get COVID, like, they were very lucky. But I'm not taking that chance. I got too many upper respiratory issues as it is. Like, no. All right. Do we add the ribbon also? I think we do. And I think we leave it long for now because I want to see how it looks trailing off the side of my head before I make any decisions. But do I center it, or do I use it to cover the weird lumpy bumpy thing that I've accidentally put in here? I think we covered the lumpy bump. We're covering the lumpy bump because, yeah, that's just good. So here I've got this one area where I'm really unhappy with the way that it looks. So I'm just going to stick a big old glob of glue there. Glue globbing it. Big old glob of glue. And now I'm just pressing this right there. Now I did leave the little loop because that loop is actually going to be really helpful for keeping it from moving around. And I am going to press that a little bit like that. Oh, lovely, lovely. I like it. I like it a lot. I dig it. So from behind, looks kind of like that. From the front, it's giving super duper crown vibes now. But of course, if I put it this way, it just kind of lays flat. So I like it. I'm happy with it. I don't think I really want to do anything else to it right now. I'm probably going to go downstairs and iron these ribbons because I hate ironing, but I recognize how important it is to making this look nice. And then I'll probably cut these to at least be even, if not to make them even shorter, because it would look cute on the side of my head if it was like, I think this short, maybe. But as it is now, it's like kind of long. And I'd rather be able to wear it this direction like a crown with a shorter bow. So yeah, but I'm going to use my fabric scissors to recut these little pointy ribbons because we'll come out cleaner that way. Just looks nice that way. Okay, that's one thing done. Ta-da! We have crafted something. Yay! I'm proud of us. I'm very proud of us. Yes. Let's see. How's the chat doing? Adding the brown sheer ribbon onto the middle of the red one. I kind of dig that. Yeah. Yeah. Steaming, ironing. It's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. And it can be a multi-day process depending on how much you're trying to tackle. For my Sailor Moon costume, for example, that I use for cosplay wrestling, I actually have like a transformation tearaway. It's my favorite thing ever. Where I have the uniform, like the school uniform, and it's got Velcro hidden on it. So I can just rip it off, and underneath is my wrestling costume. And that outer uniform has been crumpled up in a ball in my closet for 2 years. I'm not looking forward to ironing that. It's all those long pleats. Because it's the longer skirt. No. Bad. I do not like. Well, it is what it is. Shall we make another one of these things? Or, since we're already an hour in, should we try to make a headband instead? You know, I'm actually kind of feeling the headband idea, specifically because I've got this ribbon to wrap the headband in, and then I can add a bunch of these blue flowers and a couple of these white ones, or maybe some of the dandelions, and I think that will be a really good base for a Twinkle Journey headband. So let's do that. Let's just do it. This fabric, or fabric ribbon, by the way, is definitely from someone. I don't remember who amongst my friends or family gave this to me. Oh, snap! It's double wide. This might make it a little harder, but I don't know. My next video is actually going to be Camellia Cat. I thought it might be Twinkle Journey. You'll see in the first like 2 minutes of the video. So spoilers, I guess, if you don't want to know, my video starts with this. But I literally could not tell the difference on the outside between the Twinkle Journey and Camellia Cat boxes. They had the same weight. They were from around the same time. I could not remember which one was which, so I just picked one, and I thought I was going to do Twinkle Journey, but it ended up being the Camellia Cat. So I'm reviewing that first. But now that I know which one is Twinkle Journey, I think that will come after that, unless I end up doing a oh, I could wrap it like this. That's so much easier. Oh, I'm going to do that. I could end up going in a different direction because I did get the Meta New Year's Lucky Pack. And I got the tartan version, not the beige one. I know everybody is obsessed with the beige one. I did not get the beige one, mostly because it was sold out, but also because I'd just gotten the beige version of the leopard dress, and I thought the two of them would be way too similar. And I bought the bow for that too. And I can't wait to do like what I'm going to call Jersey Lolita. Like, I just want to do like the most ridiculous leopard print cords with that thing when it comes. But so I've got the blue and green plaid, and I was thinking of doing a specific for casual Lolita, specific all budget cords, all off-brand styling thing with that. It's just based on YouTube metrics. That particular video where I did the OP funeral. By the way, RIP OP still works as a discount on my mirror shop if anybody's still considering it. It's limited to 40 people, but we haven't nearly reached 40 people, so consider that. Where was I going with that? Right. So the idea for that would be like how to style it with a turtleneck, how to style it with a cut sew. Can you style it with a t-shirt? Can you wear it blouseless with like something over the top? And I just think that because it's got white on it, it's like white accents, it's going to be really, really easy to coordinate in a lot of kind of like straightforward ways. We're going to do like one with the Target blouse to make it kind of more typical. I've got a turtleneck that I want to pair it with, and then just see how that goes, I guess, because it seems like the metrics for that cheaper OP video were so good that I kind of can't not follow that up with something budget friendly related, because that's clearly what people are looking for. I love my meta reviews, and some of them do very well, but so far my best performing videos of all time have been the Angelic Pretty one where I break up with AP, and the budget Lolita OP funeral one. So I just added a little strip. I kind of adjusted things to figure out where I should start, but I added a little strip of glue here, and I've never worked with a fabric ribbon quite this wide. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just kind of cover it on the inside. I'm going to fold this over, and then I'm going to wrap it a bunch. So it might end up being kind of thick. We don't know where this is going. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. And now I'm going to catch up on the chat because that is a thing. I hope that wrapping this ribbon does not take me 20 minutes. I'm thinking that because it's a very thick headband, and a very thin headband with a very thick ribbon, rather, that it will be kind of faster. We'll see. highly recommend crafting on your days off. I just had a whole week off from work. I only had to work like 2 hours each day. And because class was canceled, I had like literally nothing to do. So all that I've done is work out, watch wrestling, and crafting. And I've sewn a whole singlet, a pair of shorts for my friend, and I've tackled my mending pile, which has gotten quite out of hand. So, yes, highly recommend it. It feels so good. The feeling I use is virtuous. Like at the end of the day, I feel virtuous having completed something and created something. Highly recommended. More wrestling related videos. My wrestling related videos are routinely my least watched videos. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it some more, but I think I need to refocus on what y'all are here for, which is me. So, like, me talking about wrestling when most of y'all do not know anything about wrestling, not going to do so well. But probably as it relates to things like my particular character building, as I get closer to debut, I'm definitely going to vlog my debut when that happens. I'm not allowed to do wrestling videos in class, and my like wrestling journal that I keep is really personal, so I post it on Facebook, but only for like my friends and family because I limit people on Facebook to people I know in person. So like eventually I will probably have more wrestling content, but I want to make sure that whatever my wrestling content is, it's not just like me going to shows or me reviewing various pay-per-views or whatever, because there are so many people who are wrestling specific channels that do that. And I don't want to turn this into that. It's already weird for me that my wrestling content on Instagram is coexisting with my Lolita content on Instagram, because once in a while I'm like, who is this rando with like a poorly lit selfie from down here who's like liking all of my photos all of a sudden? And I realize it's somebody who is from the wrestling side of things, and it's because one of my classmates like tagged me in a post or something. And especially for my classmates that are already wrestlers and they're like already putting themselves out there, they have fans, and that puts me on their radar. But like, wrestling fans can be really toxic people. Not that there aren't toxic people in every fandom, mind you, but wrestlers, especially wrestlers that are female or femme presenting, have an especially hard time with the wrestling fan base because we are under much more scrutiny. People are very likely to comment on our bodies. They're very likely to sexualize us. And it's kind of like that in Lolita as well, except that in Lolita, we have the fallback of being like, no, this is my personal page. This is a fashion, not a fetish costume. Leave me alone. And in wrestling, you kind of have to just eat it because you don't want to gain the reputation of being unkind to your fan base. All of those people are people who might make you money later, so you really can't alienate them like that. And it's wild. I'm not a huge fan of it, but my goal in wrestling is to cultivate a fan base of like femmes, nerds, and children. Specifically overweight children. I want little kids who are chubby and unathletic to look at me doing what I'm doing, also chubby, also unathletic, and be like, if she can do it, I can do it. Because it's changed my life and it's changed my relationship to my body, and I think everyone deserves to love themselves at whatever size and ability they are. Because that is the best feeling. So yes, I will eventually make wrestling content. It's just going to be very good, very specific, very tailored to me, and hopefully all of y'all will enjoy it too. I did have a thought that like if I reached 500 subscribers or something, not 500, 5,000 subscribers, when I reach some milestone of subscribers at some point, I would like to get into a full cord and film a video of me doing my warm-ups at my gym in full Lolita, like maybe not with the shoes, but I could probably actually build a coordinate around my wrestling boots or my kick pads or something. Anyway, I want to do like a Lolita wrestling cord and then like do some wrestling in Lolita for a video, but it's going to be so high effort. I need to get a lot of permission from a lot of people and stuff. So it's a far off goal. All right, we're almost done with the initial covering here. Doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look horrible, which is exactly how I like all of my cords anyway. Oh my gosh. Yup. All right, it's done. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I think actually I should probably finish these ends off first. I'm just going to fold them under. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the underside here. And then I'm just going to quickly, before this glue completely dries, fold it to make the edge clean so that I can then fold it some more without worrying about all this extra stringy bit. There we go. Of course, if I had like a lighter on me, which would have been a smart thing to bring up here, I could have just like fused it. I think this fabric is polyester enough to have that work. But fire in front of a bunch of plastic is also not the safest thing. So, nah. Let me just focus on this real quick, and then I will get back to reading the chat. Yeah, as far as my relationship to my body goes, I used to be a cosplayer as my main hobby, and so much of cosplay and success is tied to your aesthetic appeal and other people's attention. And all I can say is that ain't it for me. Like, in cosplay, I will always be limited by my body. In wrestling, I will always be celebrated for my body because I am 6 feet tall, 250 pounds, swole. I wasn't always this swole, mind you, but but just getting more swole, it's been amazing because it's impossible basically to find women who are interested in wrestling out in the world. Like a lot of people are completely uninterested in the prospect of the pain. Even if they're athletic, they're not interested in this type of athleticism. And so for me, you have to really want it. But finding something else that you love that makes you feel comfortable in your body, it's so hard. And if you're not interested in wrestling specifically, I recommend looking into gymnastics, things like pole dancing, honestly, things like weightlifting. Weightlifting is amazing for everyone, and I think everyone should be a weightlifter. I know that it can be cost prohibitive, like if you don't have a gym and you don't have free weights at home. But there is no better feeling in the world than lifting something heavy that you couldn't lift 5 months ago. Like, It's amazing. Right after I started lifting, I went to go get some cat food from the cat food store, and I got these like 2 flats of it, and I expected it to be really heavy, so I like braced for it, and then I lifted so much that I actually hit myself in the chin because I was expecting it to feel heavier, but I hadn't done that in months, and I'd started lifting, so it was like, there are so many things. Martial arts is another one, like judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu is something I'd really love to do. I just don't have the time to pursue more than one athletic endeavor at a time. So for me, it's going to be wrestling first, lifting second, and lifting supplements pro wrestling. So that's kind of nice. The more I lift, the more I will be able to do in pro wrestling. Not just in terms of like picking people up, but also in terms of maneuvering myself around. Because when you go from being very unathletic to mildly athletic, and specifically building muscle and getting stronger, it's a game changer. Total game changer. Like if you're a swimmer, for example, and you start to lift, you'll notice that you swim faster. The water will just feel like it's less resistant, and that's wild. I haven't swam in a long time. But last time I swam, I was like, whoa, I am a mermaid. Yeah, so I'm just gluing more here. This ribbon is so wide. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it all. I might actually just kind of fold it like this and then build some stuff along there. I'm not really sure yet. But at least it's like kind of covered. Kind of. Oh, congrats on the black belt. That is amazing. That is amazing. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I'm not going to try, but that is awesome. I actually did Taekwondo for a very short time when I was a kid. Back when I was like underweight and severely under height for my age group. And so I was a yellow belt with 3 green stripes. They kept failing me on the test. And my parents were like, why is she the only one that's not progressing to a green belt? And they were like, oh, because she's so small. And at green belt, we start sparring and we don't want her to get hurt. And so they let me try sparring once as if to prove a point to my parents that this was a bad idea. And I got hurt immediately. And my parents pulled me out of Taekwondo because they didn't want me to keep paying for something. They didn't want to keep paying for me to do something that I wouldn't be able to progress in because of my size. And yeah, that sucked. That super sucked. I was not happy. Okay, I think I am going to actually cut this ribbon down the middle because this is getting ridiculous. I don't want to keep wrapping this. I don't. So I'm just going to cut it enough so that it'll wrap one more time around, and then I'll glue it to the back and fold it over. But yeah, there were so many things that I quit as a kid because I was unathletic naturally, that if I'd just been forced to keep at it in one way or another, I would be an athlete now. I was really good at Taekwondo through the yellow belt stage of things. I was doing push-ups on my knuckles and I could roll myself into a pretzel because I was so flexible, and I could almost do the splits. Like, I also looked like a little boy because I had lice that year. So my parents got me this really, really cute pixie cut. But because I was like this buff little kid with really, really short hair, I kept getting misgendered places. Like, I'd go out in a dress and people would be like, how dare you let your son wear that dress? And my mom's like, she's a girl. And that was when I learned that gender is a construct. fact, and that it's only important if it's important to you. But yeah, it felt really bad to be mistaken for a boy all the time. So just kind of left that behind me after a while. Ah! Caught it. All right, here we go. I'm actually just going to pre-fold this whole thing because it's going to be easier than trying to manage folding it. Riho! Do you hear my kitten screaming at me from the other side of the door? Rihi! Rihi! She's named after Riho Hime, who is about to have a title match with Britt Baker. Very exciting. Yeah, half of my life is wrestling references. You get me started talking about wrestling, I will never shut up also. So beware bringing up wrestling on one of my live streams. You have learned. You will learn if you haven't already. It's just my current fascination. I guess I used to talk this way about cosplay, but I was never as passionate about cosplay as I am about wrestling. Yeah. Yeah, I agree about going to the gym and or exercising in general and your mental health. It's not like a one-stop shop fix, but like if you're in therapy and or on mood regulating medicine and that's not doing it for you, adding gym to the mix will help. Or if you can't afford the therapy or mood regulating medication, like exercising will feel horrible and you will hate it, and it's really, really impossible to find the motivation at first, but it's worth it, and I hope you try it. Whenever I feel down, it's so nice to know that I'll have like only ever a few days until my next wrestling class. And even on the days when I'm dragging my feet and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get in the car. I don't want to sit in the traffic. I don't want to talk to the people. Like, okay, I love these people. I love my classmates and my coaches. But when I'm feeling really introverted, I still don't want to talk to them. But like, even on those days, the second I start rolling around in the ring, I feel better immediately. And I was feeling so anxious this week because of all the pandemic stuff going on in my orbit that it was really hard for me to focus on anything. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to lift because I have a squat rack. And so, yeah, I've gotten some gains. I'm very excited. Baby gains. Well, they're not quite baby gains, but baby gains are the best. If you've never lifted before in your life, that first like 2 months of your lifting is going to be the best because suddenly you'll be able to lift things you've never lifted before and it'll all be shiny and new and you'll feel so motivated. Oh, it'll be great. I'm so happy for you. If you haven't done that yet, you get to do that someday. Go do that. All right, so now I've got it folded over and I'm just going to last time fold it over again as tight, ouch, as I can. And again, it's not the prettiest. It's not perfect. It will do. In Hebrew, there's a word dayenu, which means like sufficient or enough. And on Passover, we sing this song that goes, dayenu, dayenu. And it's become a thing in my household where whenever we're like half-assing something, but at least it's done, we're like, dayenu. So this is dayenu status. I wish I had a meme that would apply to all people of all cultures, though. That's pretty niche. Of course, we can make it a thing. We could make it a thing, like, I don't know. If enough people used it, maybe it would become common vernacular. And yes, I will be covering it with flowers anyway, so I'm not too worried. Ooh, I really did get my thumb though. I totally got my thumb in a bad way. Ow. Oh. Yeah, lifting will help you no matter what your sport is. I would say. Granted, I've never like done most sports, but just based on my limited experience, every single thing I've ever done. I mean, just running errands is easier when you're lifting. Um, everything becomes easier when you're lifting. Um, and you don't have to rely on people as much. Um, I mean, I'm not a short person, so I don't really know what it's like to have to like ask tall people to reach things for you. But I used to be a weak enough person that I would need help like lifting heavy things and whatnot. And now there's nothing more gratifying than watching a guy in his 40s struggle to lift something. And then I'm like, oh, sir, let me help you. And he's like, excuse me, what? It's pretty fun. Yeah, oy vey is a good example of Jewish slang that has become common vernacular. Like I hear people say something's a mishigas, and I'm like, yeah, it is. Or somebody will say, oh yeah, I had to schlep all over to it, and I'm like, oh, are you part of the tribe? Hello. Mostly not. Yeah, being strong is so fun. Especially when it messes with the patriarchy, you know? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Are you scared? Not actually sorry. Looks like we have some spammers in the chat. Hi, spammers. Nobody go to there. Nobody do that. It's a bad idea. I don't know what that is, but it's not endorsed on this channel. Oh, oh man, like from underneath, this is so crusty, and from the outside, it's almost fine. Almost. We'll get there though. We'll get there. It's just going to take a little more time. Oh, I'm glad that I decided to switch gears when I did, because if I tried to start this after making another one of these, I probably would run out of time. But as it is, I think we're right on schedule. I do have to go at 1 p.m. because my spouse is running a D&D game, and it's not very often that we all, me and him and all our friends are all free at the same time. So today being a national holiday and all, we are free at the same time, and that's going to start around 1. So I can be a little bit late because we're all going to have some time to like chit chat and catch up and stuff. But I also don't want to miss out too much on that because D&D time. My character is amazing, by the way. Her name is Madonna. She is a bard. She's 54 years old, but only to herself, because she's actually probably more like 300, 400 years old, because she got kidnapped by the Fae Queen Titania and was asked to play a concert at a rager that ended up going for like 300 years, and she was just like not aware of the time passing. So now she's back out of the Feywild and trying to adjust to real life, realizing that all of her friends and family are dead. Fun. But her solution to everything is she wants to throw a party or do a performance. And it's amazing how often that works. Oh, Michael Dust! Oh, she was also married to a bear. A talking bear. Talking bears are a thing in this world. They're pretty rare. But he was the great love of her life. They had children together. And so now whenever she meets a bear, she gets a little racist and is like, oh my God, do you know the Baron of Barrington? He was my husband. Wow. All right. That's about as good as it's going to get, I think. Yeah. I'm just going to give a little bit of glue to the outside thread of all of this to make sure that it all kind of stays put. And then we will look at flowers. There we go. Okay. So I've got quite a few of these. And I'm pretty sure this is a really good blue to match specifically that one colorway of Twinkle Journey. I also have a different color and cut that I'm going to be comparing, contrasting. That is the purple. Obviously, this will have to be a project for another time, though, because this is a much better match. So let's find a bunch of these. I've also got the smaller ones, which is nice. Just going to pull out as many as I can find. Ow! The little bud. Oh, I do have these like lily-looking stemmy thingies. I don't know. By the way, did any of y'all shop the Meta year-end sale? I have not, because all of the things that were in my size on sale, I already had. It's terrible. I feel a little bad that I spent more money than I had to, but you know, I got the colorways and stuff that I wanted, and I can afford it. L'chaim. Yeah, the other D&D game that I'm in just wrapped, like, completely. We were doing a playthrough of Rime of the Frost Maiden, and we actually got to the end, which is nuts. It's the first time I've ever played a campaign, like, start to finish. There were lots of campaigns that I've finished, but, like, I got in on it late, or that I started but had to leave before it could finish. Or it was a homebrew that just went on forever until it fizzled out. So I'm really, really stoked that I got to see the end of that campaign. And we did stop the Eternal Rhyme, so that was cool. My character for that was not as fun as Madonna, but it's okay. It was me trying to play a guy, which is seldom recognized or respected by my game mates. I play with a bunch of guys in their 40s, so it's like... But I've been playing with them, the same group, since I was 17. So we've all kind of grown up together, or, you know, I've grown up with them, I guess. They're great guys. And we've been using Roll20 for remote games throughout the pandemic, and I think that's a big contributor to how we all got to, like, actually see this campaign through to the end, because I don't know if we would have gone quite so far if we had to keep canceling every time we couldn't meet in person because of safety reasons. Yeah. Oh I forgot I had the green ones. I also have green orchids. That's fun. Got these little bud things. I don't know if I want to. Nah, probably not. Okay, so I'm going to start with the blue ones. I don't know how many of the white ones I'm going to include. I'm thinking maybe a couple, but not a ton. I want them to be more accents, with the blue being the focus. And I also have these dandelion thingies, which I think would be very, very cute. I don't know how well this goes together. Like, I'm not a flower arranger theory person. Like, I don't know how that works. And these being fake flowers, I don't really understand the seasonality and stuff, but it is what it is. I also definitely want to include some leaves. Most of my leaf pile is just autumnal, though, so I think I'm going to steal some from whatever this is to include as leaves. I mean, not that it would look like an orchid leaf at all, but it just might look nice. I've also got red orchids. Or I could do these little leaves. Or I've got this giant bag of stuff. And I feel like I could probably... Ooh. This little lily is awfully pretty. I don't know. Lily or orchid or both? I know that no matter what, I want it to be asymmetrical because that's my jam. I did take some classes when I was living in Japan on like ikebana and bonsai and stuff. And wabi-sabi has just totally rubbed off on me when it comes to flower arranging. So you want it to look balanced, but natural. So not entirely symmetrical, but again, balanced. So like if I'm doing it as a big grouping here, I still want stuff covering here. Or if I'm doing it, yeah, I think I want it more grouped to one side, and so that there's like definitely a side to it. I could add these. That's very pretty. Oh, and look, more sunflowers. Can you tell they're my favorites? Yeah, I think I might use these as more like an accent than a main thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this plasticky base here. So, okay. Let's just start kind of laying things out. So if it's on my head, I feel like having a larger clump on one side makes sense, and like a couple more flattened out ones on the other side. So if I just start by kind of covering the parts that will be on top of my head, which is like from here to here. So don't put stuff here or it's just going to get in the way of your ears and glasses and hair. But so like from here through here, I could put just like flowers as a base. And I think that's the way to go for starters. And then we can kind of build off of that. All right, so this one, again, we just want to make sure that these things are going to be secure. So put a dollop of glue to kind of seal the back before you get to the next step. Let those percolate, dry, whatever. And then if they've still got a stem on them, I'm going to take the stem off. So what are y'all's plans for the rest of New Year's after joining me on this lovely stream? I can't be the only one doing D&D, right? That was a close one. It dropped with the not hot side onto my bare-legged lap. I got lucky. I got really lucky. Why don't I take a second to clean some of this stuff up a little bit? You get over there. I might end up just using one of these as an accent, actually. I kind of like, because they're green, so they look a little bit like leaves, but they are orchids. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. And this we don't need right now. And this we don't need right now. And this we don't need right now. A cord based on my D&D character. I might be up for that. She wears red dragon scale armor and a turban and armadillo boots, like Lady Gaga style armadillo boots. She's eccentric. She also just like loves disguise based things. So she will straight up try to find a performative solution to every problem. And it's good that my spouse is DMing, because I don't know how many groups would tolerate me being this obnoxious and extra, but my group is generally down for whatever madness Madonna wants to get up to. We once stole a boat by throwing a boat party. We just kidnapped all these people and went on this boat. That was lovely. I could use the Lolita axe. I love this idea. Big thanks to everyone who helped me investigate where that axe came from, by the way. Looks like the name of the place is Funcino, like cappuccino, but Funcino, I think that's how it's pronounced. Amazing. And the other colors of this axe, like I kind of want to make it my mission to track down the like minty pink one. It's much more sweet, but oh my god, so good. I'm adding a little bit of glue in between these petal layers to help them lie flat, by the way. But so far, so good. So far, so good. And we're done. I'm going to keep making that joke. I'm sorry. It's horrible. So let's see. The next one could go like, I kind of want to overlap them a little bit. So I think the next one's going to go like in there. A little bit in there. Yes. Gosh, I have so many ideas for like coordinate videos that I want to do that are on theme. I still want to do a dressing up as my favorite pro wrestlers video after I did that one kind of Undertaker-y cord. But it's not easy to do these multiple cord videos, and the more pieces I have to change, the more of an undertaking the more of an undertaking it becomes, and it just gets so overwhelming sometimes. So I appreciate everybody's enthusiasm for this stuff. I will try my best to make it all happen. I don't know what kind of timeline I can expect for that, though, because it is considerable, especially like right now. The time of year is good because it's cool enough that I'm not like sweating up a storm. But some of those 3-cord videos I was doing in like the summer and the autumn, it was just so warm that I was sweating off my makeup before I could even change into the second one. And so I was having to reapply makeup and stuff too. It was like, ugh, not great. And as a rule, I don't enjoy wearing a lot of makeup. That's why I'm not wearing any now. But I do think that because of my complexion issues, my coordinates look significantly better when I actually put on some makeup, even if it's not a lot. So you won't always see me with like the lashes and the hair, but if my foundation starts running, I will feel compelled to fix it. I will, 100% of the time. Because I'm very self-conscious about my acne. All right. Got to get this to stay there. How do I get that to stay there? We'll see. Oh, let's do some petal sandwiching in here. Hey, how about that? A little glue on either side, a little press down from above. Hopefully it works. And I know that like I could do it as like series of videos, but then I have to record an intro and an outro for all of them, and that's like a lot too. So I don't know. I still got to figure it out. I got to figure out what y'all want to see and balance that with what YouTube and the algorithm want for me. And I've definitely wanted to do like character inspired chords before, not just for wrestling, but also like anime characters if you're going to a con, or like video game characters, or iconic people from history. I had a Ruth Bader Ginsburg chord that I did the week she died that I'm very proud of, honestly. So stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a challenge, and I really appreciate all the enthusiasm that y'all have for my wacky coordination style. But the more I have to plan, the harder it is for me to execute videos, because so much of what I do is just like on the fly. What can I throw together? What makes sense? And that's why unboxings work so well for me. It's like something that I know I can get out every week, especially if I'm limiting myself to one coordinate or one try on. Or like one try on a flat lay funeral, that sort of thing, I know I can execute on time. So I'm also trying not to burn myself out. And I just haven't been wanting to dress up as much as I used to. I think it's because I've been so tired from all of my wrestling class. That's looking pretty good. Cool. We're almost there. I think one or two more flowers will do it. Yeah, one more flower should do it. If I just space it out enough. So I'll make this one come down a little further. Yeah, wrestling class takes a lot out of me. And I know that the deeper into wrestling I get, the harder it will be for me to keep producing stuff. I'm also really enjoying the like wrestling gear making process lately. I just find it so therapeutic. I just put on an audiobook, or I put on some Forged in Fire in the background. Yes, I'm one of those people. I do love me some Forged in Fire. Especially like I can't watch the kill tests, but I love the rest of the show, and I love hearing people talk about their process and like explain what they're trying to do and what their reference points are. And I love the like really intense music for all of the testing that they do. So it makes really good background music / background content for me to just like work through. And so I've been getting a ton of wrestling related crafts done, and that's kind of cool for me. I really like the way my Sailor Moon singlet turned out. I will be posting pictures once I've got the whole thing put together. The look is I I just look at myself in the mirror when I'm wearing that thing, because I patterned it for myself too, because I want to be able to actually wrestle in it. It's functional. And I'm like, oh, baby, you are so talented. Look at what you did. Yeah, look at you in that Sailor Moon singlet. But a lot of wrestling crafting comes down to like, is there somebody I know in my life who really, really needs my help? And I never charge what I deserve for this sort of thing, but I like making gear for other people, and I like designing it. And I've thought about doing a video based on like taking y'all through the design process start to finish, but I just have not been organized enough to film for that. So maybe with my next singlet, I will do that. We will see. Oh, I would love to take a smithing class. Speaking of things that will help if you do lifting, I feel like blacksmithing is definitely one of them. Here's the base. What do we think? I think things are already starting to move in this direction, so this is probably the area I will pile up on. Yeah, I dig this. I dig it. Or wait, should I be wearing it like this? Oh, I guess I should be wearing it with the little dangly bits down as opposed to dangly bits up. Oh yeah, this is the better way. Okay, yeah. So this is the front, which means this is the side that's going to get built up. Okay, which means I should be looking at it in the correct direction as I build things. Okay. As I figure out where to put these, I'm just kind of placing them in random places until I find something that I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. I like that. Then I'll kind of fill it in as I go. I think I do want to put some that are facing more like towards the front, kind of like aligned that way, in which case I will keep the stems on them so that I can feed the stems through and underneath, which means I'd better glue the stem on for a more permanent fix. I love crafts of all sorts. I think it's art. I think that people who do crafts are totally undervalued, just in terms of what they contribute to the world. And so many people have put so much time and energy and care into making what they make perfectly. And that when you find somebody who's a craftsman like that, you should support them if you can't afford to, and pay them what they're worth. But like my wrestling gear, charging like $150 for something that took 4 days to do the applique on. Ugh. But again, it's for friends. And it's one of those things where, I mean, I have a whole gear video about all the ways that gear contributes to your success as a wrestler. And I wish everyone would watch it. But it makes such a huge difference when you have a good look. If your gear is recognizable at a glance, like, it will make you so much more valuable to any promoter. So yeah, I try to do good by the people who have been good to me in this business. Which is rare, frankly. There has been so much drama in NorCal wrestling in the past, like, 2 weeks. It's awful. I'm not going to go into it because it's not my place to do so, but it has been horrible. And it really makes me think about, like, okay, who are my real friends here? And it turns out I have a lot of real friends, and they're great, but a lot of people are not that lucky. And it makes me wonder if they're all using me for my gear abilities. Shady. Could be, though. But yeah, I think the sort of thing that I usually make I could charge like $1,000 per set. But none of my friends can afford that, so I don't. I'm just like, what do you have as your budget? Sure, I'll take whatever that budget is and make you something. Luckily, it's a labor of love. Lucky for them, I should say. All right. Already, I'm starting to like this more. I think I'm going to put some more stuff facing this away. maybe one of those, or maybe one of these. Ooh. Or maybe one of these. Ooh, puffball. Oh, I do love that. Oh, I do. I don't think one puff is enough. One puff is enough. So I could do like that. Oh, I quite like that. Yeah. And then maybe I'll put another one of these like up in here. Yes. Okay. Yep. Nope. I like that. We're doing that. 2 puff balls. Just going to try to cut through this wire on the back of them. Ooh. And now I will stick a. I've been going through a lot of glue sticks. I'm running out of time. But it's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. There we go. I'm trying to wrap the stems of the puffballs under here, which I think will give them some more structure to go off of and hopefully help them stay in place better. If you look at this from the wrong angle, it is a gluey mess. But if you look at it from the right angle, it's a whole ass. Almost cussed. No, do not cuss. Not good. A whole A headpiece. Whew. I did cuss once on the last live stream, and it didn't affect my monetization. But that was once, and I don't want to F with it again, if I can help it. All right. Ooh, my DoorDash order is coming. I only DoorDash when we're all playing D&D and we are too busy to cook. And this time I got a crepe from this place called Grapevine, which has like salmon and capers. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Salmon, capers, and onion. That is my kind of crepe. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Come on. Mm-hmm. There we go. Might have to like really focus on this for the next couple of minutes, y'all. Just try and get everything done in time. Already I'm liking this though. Do we want to add daisies? Do we want another of these? Oh yes, we want one right here. We want one right there for sure. And at this point, I'm just gluing the stem and then sticking the stem where I can find a spot, because that seems to be a viable technique at this point. There we go. Cool. I'm going to stick a couple more daisies on here. And maybe another one of these babies. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Another layered on top. So let's take off the stem. I'm just going to do double duty here and help get it placed as well as it's drying there. And only slightly janky. I'm loving it. And I'm even going to use these daisies to fill in obvious issues on the back. Like so. Because I might as well. I do have white ribbon. I don't know if it's a good white ribbon for this because it's got this like iridescent edge thing going on. I might end up playing with that once I am off stream. And that means my thing was delivered. Awesome. So that's the back so far, and this is the front, and I'm going to add some more of those daisies because I'm really liking the way they look. And I have so many, so I might as well. And here's how that's looking. And I think I'm going to put a couple more daisies on the other side just to kind of balance out the white, even though there's not as much like weight to it. And that will probably call it. This has been very productive. And I know we shouldn't be striving for productivity, especially when we're just getting past a very strenuous, exhausting year. But I am happy to be productive in a way that feels fun and affirming and relaxing, at least. And thank you for joining me for this. I will put this on in like 20 seconds. I just want to add the last of the flowers that I'm adding because that will give it the full effect. And in the meantime, let's remind ourselves of what we did earlier. So we've got this, which will definitely get changed up. I think I'm going to add one more daisy and call it done. Ow. There we go. And there it is. Ta-da! We made something out of nothing. Well, out of a bunch of random parts. And it looks much nicer with the hair down. So I will probably wear it like this. Thank you guys so much for coming. This has been super duper fun for me. I definitely am interested in doing this sort of thing again. So I assume you're all subscribed, but if not, please do subscribe and give this streaming replay thingy a thumbs up if you haven't already liked the stream. And thank you for spending your New Year's Day with me. This has been a really good way to start the year. And I'm so stoked on this. This is the first time I've ever just like made a flower headpiece. What do we think? Pretty good first attempt? I dig it. I dig it. I'm definitely going to wear this a lot, and especially in that Twinkle Journey video that is coming soon to a YouTube near you. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been awesome. Stay safe. Have a great new year, and I wish for you all of the abundance of crafting joy, energies, peace, and frills. Bye, y'all. Thanks again.